and welcome to... Well, okay, we want to call it ShowTrack, but we expect that to be really, really terrible a name. We're bad at naming names. So we've not decided yet. It could be ShowTrack, it could be just two random people sit in a very echoey shed, glorified shed that is, and discuss soundtracks. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We got some lovely ones lined up for you today. Tried to go for a Christmas theme, but yeah, there's not really much Christmas stuff out there that's good, is there? Let's just define the rules. Well, it's our personal choices. I mean, we're going to argue what we think's good, give you some highlights. But, you know, our personal choices. Also, you know, just a way of discovering new stuff. Because, well, I'm not a hipster. But most of my stuff's very obscure and very unique. I'm not a hipster.
No.
Anyway, definitely not. Yeah. Well, you wanted to talk about Rogue One, didn't you?
I did.
Well, what did you think?
Wait,
Well,
what?
give us a listen.
Give me a minute. Final Cut Pro's trying to render something. That's where the fans are going.
Oh. That's show business, folks. Even though we don't actually have a show yet and we have no business, we're doing it for free. Please help. God, please give us money. Please.
I've lost track. What do you want to hear?
Well, let's not hear anything. Let's in fact hear your opinion.
My opinion is that the vast majority of the popular internet have got it slightly wrong. Because they're, of course, comparing it to the old Star Wars soundtracks, which, as they're composed by someone called the Maestro, are infallible in every way. So, compared to something which is perfect, it's never going to measure up. But I would argue that it is very good regardless.
No, I know what you mean. All the time I heard it, every single second of the movie, I just thought, am I listening to a copyright-safe knockoff fan-made film?
Yeah, there is that feel, especially in the new Imperial theme, which we'll hear later. So
it feels like it's purposely composed to get past YouTube's copyright scans.
I can admit that, yes.
Yeah, but even so, it's very hard to imagine a world without John Williams' track for Star Trek. Star Trek.
Oh,
God.
Execute him.
I committed the cardinal sin. The cardinal, the original sin. Oh, who cares? I think, actually, I'm just going to turn down this microphone, you know, a little bit because I'm like clipping crazy.
You don't want to do that.
No. Can you hear me still, Mr. Microphone? No.
Mr. Microphone.
There we are. That's slightly better. I'll have to boost that in post probably.
Yes.
Anyway, as I was saying, you've probably heard the entire thing with horrible, shouty, crappy clips going on. But that doesn't matter. You know, it's very tricky to imagine Star Wars without John Williams. Even now, I can't even think to review Rogue One soundtrack without... What I'm saying is you just can't put John Williams out of your head. That's like putting out a cat on Christmas.
Comparisons do have to be made.
Yeah. It's a little bit... Well, play the one that makes people wet themselves.
What, do you really want me to play 8 minutes?
Not 8 minutes, just a little intro.
An intro?
Just give us a taste.
Okay.
Not long enough for YouTube to pick us up.
Not long enough. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's simple. We can do it. You just tap it.
In post.
Yeah, let's do it in post.
Well...
Are you ready for it? You ready?
I think they are.
You ready?
But I'm not. Makes people wet themselves. Well...
Yeah. Oh, God, you know the one. Boom!
Oh, that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just... Why?
That is irritating. But I blame that on the start of the film. Missing out the crawl was a big mistake.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Starting a Star Wars album with no crawl is just wrong.
But that aside, we're not reviewing a movie, but still. Suddenly... What am I expected to do?
Jump.
Yeah.
It's to remind all the people in the cinema who are staring at their phones to look up at the screen and started.
Still, there's just something about it. It's a little bit too... I found it was trying too hard.
It is.
I think it would have been better to have gone a completely different direction. You know, incorporate elements of John Williams' track.
Elements of the dunk.
Yeah, for example, where it uses the motifs for Darth Vader.
Yes, there's a great moment at the end of this track.
Oh, go on then.
In specific. Well, even during this track, you can hear the Mrs. Vader.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Slaughtering rebels.
Oh yes. But still, that it's just a little bit over the top. I find that little bit of strings in there. You know,
That is brilliant.
that is brilliant. But then suddenly it just goes whole anvil chorus on it.
The wibbling is not appreciated.
Yeah, no, it goes a little bit. He overquired it.
Yeah, it is. The film is slightly overspotted, but I think that was an occasion that called for it.
Still, yeah, I think if he'd gone a completely different direction, but it's still taking in the motifs from Vader and Leia, however you pronounce it.
It's not in the soundtrack.
Not in the soundtrack.
Leia, no.
I get what you get anyway.
Yes, I get it.
So, what would you sum up Rogue One as?
I think it is definitely a very decent effort.
You made an attempt. An attempt was made.
That is unfair. It's a pretty good effort, but due to it having to be compared to John Williams' soundtracks for the previous films, there is no way it can measure up, and it's as good as could be expected under the circumstances. Especially given it was only given 4 weeks to be written, which is ridiculous.
Is pretty stunning. Yeah. Do you think Rogue One would have sat as a standalone movie outside the Star Wars universe?
Ooh, that's tricky. If A New Hope hadn't been made and it was just on its own, that would be really weird. It could have done, but it would have had to do a lot more world building.
You know, less characters, more development.
Yes, a lot more, but...
Yeah, interesting. Now, still not Christmassy, but seeing as it did come out at Christmas, Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Now here's a good soundtrack.
Yeah, I'll just disclaim now that I like it, but I suffer with a very serious problem. Overexposure to soundtrack wars. Overexposure to soundtrack wars.
That's not a good title.
No. Overexposure to Star Wars soundtrack from playing the Lego Star Wars games. Far too much. You know, 100% of my early life was spent playing those games. PlayStation 2, of course. Oh yeah, oh, and every time it spoiled Star Wars for me a little bit.
Yeah.
If I could go back and listen to the music again, it'd be great. But yeah, I thought Force Awakens was alright for that. It was nice to have a new take on old classics.
It was.
But there's one outstanding track for me, and that's Rey's theme.
Jedi Steps and Finale is the best track of the 2000s. Easily.
Really?
Because it includes a Rey's theme suite, but also includes March of the Resistance.
Go on then.
What? From the start, it's like 11 minutes.
No, just choose a random selection. Your best bit.
I'll choose a random selection. Well, you know Rey's theme and stuff, don't you?
No,
And that's
that sort of Christmassy jingle where the end credits start rolling, that always just didn't fit for me.
But the Christmassy jingle is what it's all about. But you know that. I'll go and find the cleverest bit, which is.
I'm very ambivalent. No, I do beg my pardon. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, I've missed it. Oh, I don't know.
Come on! We've got at least 70 copyright strikes now.
Yeah. Ray's theme interpolated with the Force theme. That has got to be one of the most clever things done.
I want to like it, but I can't.
Why?
It's just...
You're wrong.
It doesn't quite gel.
Gel.
That's not the word I was looking to use. It doesn't quite... I couldn't listen to it whilst doing something.
No, you would have to listen to it while doing nothing.
Yeah.
With your eyes closed in a darkened room. That's how you do it.
That's not how I soundtrack.
But it's how you're supposed to. Just to lie back and do nothing for an hour and 18 minutes.
They can't expect everyone to have synesthesia or some random collection of S's.
Sibilance.
Sibilance! That's not the word, but that's... Yeah.
There's only one S.
Yeah. But what would you mark The Force Awakens as a standalone soundtrack versus Rogue One?
Versus Rogue One, it's obviously higher.
Yes.
The internet was quite displeasured by The Force Awakens, I think. But I believe that was mainly due to the mix in the film being massively lower than it had ever been in Star Wars before, which was a bit crap. But blame JJ!
What would you compare Force Awakens soundtrack to the others?
The others?
No, sorry, to the originals. To the originals.
Well, that doesn't really matter. I would say, yeah, it is probably... I would put it... Wait, the originals, it would be bottom.
Bottom?
Bottom of the originals. It would be above Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, I think.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the prequel soundtracks?
Oh, they're still fantastic.
Hmm.
Phantom Menace is definitely up there.
Not Duel of Fates, okay, yeah, no, there's
What?
huge... No, Duel
Mad!
of Fates...
Madness!
Duel of Fates is just... Again, I think that comes from Lego Star Wars, the first one, battling, what's his face, angry tattoo face.
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. Yeah, just listening to that theme constantly whilst bashing pieces of Lego next to extremely shiny Naboo starfighters.
Shiny. Oh, yes.
That was
Like
an
the shiny
incredible
Naboo
effect for the
starfighters.
PlayStation 2, I should mention. Just a little clarification for you three people who are watching this, two of which will be us when we edit it. Tim's a movie soundtrack person, and I'm a game soundtrack person.
He's inferior.
No, we'll get on to that. Now let's move on to the games.
I see. Right, what do you have lined up for us?
Well, I couldn't think of really any good Christmassy ones, seeing as... Yeah, there aren't very many good video game Christmases. Or Christmas video games.
Yeah.
It's a weird category. When you say Christmas video game, you instantly think of dodgy ROM hacks or, Flash games.
Yes.
And, terrible MIDI renditions of Christmas classics.
Yes.
But one movie that did spring to mind, I say movie because I'm speaking about a video game adaptation. Yeah. An actual movie adaptation that's better than the movie and closer to the words of birth. And that's The Golden Compass. Taken from Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials trilogy, namely the first one, Northern Lights. Now, I don't know why. The movie sucked, by the way. The movie was terrible. It didn't pay attention at all to the original material. It chopped and changed everything about, and it casted an American actress in the place of a scruffy Oxford girl.
This is terrible.
English.
Yeah, they're not like that.
The Americans aren't English. It's incompatible.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and whoever voiced Pan was that kind of... I don't know how to describe that voice. younger than it should be.
Okay.
But everything else was perfect. I mean, I'm surprised they got Daniel Craig.
Yeah. He must have been quite a scoop for such a bad film.
And Nicole Kidman. But the video game was amazing. I had it on PlayStation 2, and there's just nothing better than crashing through a load of baddies on the back of Yorick Burninson. And the soundtrack, full orchestral soundtrack, and it replaced the game used screen captures footage from the movie. It replaced the soundtrack from the movie and is 100 times better. Let's have a little listen. Full orchestra. That's just brilliant for us. A tiny little, unknown PlayStation 2 movie tie-in game. The best has to be, of course, the main theme. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Computer trouble.
It's pretty stunning, isn't it?
Yeah. For a video game.
For a video game. And I don't know, the soundtrack just perfectly fits every moment. There's one moment, the scariest sound in the world is almost as scary as Sonic Hedgehog's original drowning sound. And it's where the mosquitoes that the church sent out, the magisterium, to track Lyra, it's when you have to hide from those. And it's a very basic, just a standard small little sample loop, but oh, that strikes fear into your heart. Shame it's not really much of a penalty if you do get caught by mosquitoes, but still, it's almost like the brightest
mosquitoes.
Yeah, so what did you think?
I thought that was pretty good. I'd have to listen to the whole thing.
Oh, of course. But it's definitely worth a listen.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, but the quality's a little bit low.
Okay.
I suggest picking up the game. It's one of those kind of things that frequents bargain basements.
Okay. Is it on a CD?
Well, DVD.
DVD-ROM.
DVD-ROM.
What is a DVD-ROM?
No, not the soundtrack, the game.
Yes. How can I play the game on my lack of...
Emulator. Emulator.
Okay.
Yeah, but a very good one to take a look. The other one I wanted to look at was, as I said, very hard to pick Christmassy games.
Yes.
But I wanted to look at... Oh, I mentioned it earlier. Sonic. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. The reason I chose this for a wintry one is because of one sole track. And that is the Ice Cap Zone. It's just unbelievably, amazingly funky.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure on this because I don't really do music trivia, but I think it was composed in part by Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now let's see if I can find it. Yes, you'll definitely find it on YouTube around here somewhere.
You are finding it on YouTube.
Well, yeah. Ice Cap Zone. See, it's the first thing that pops up when you type in Sonic 3 OST. Now, hang on, that's Act 1. I want Act 2. Act 2, I think, is better. Just because it starts soft and slow. This is where you're skateboarding down a slope.
Yes, okay.
That bass line. And then it goes a little bit odd, I find. It should be mentioned that Tim is allergic to synthesized music.
Not entirely,
Just everything I like.
Yes.
Yes.
Precisely.
But that, just to get that level of sound from what was comparatively a very simple chip, I find it very impressive. Another one that's good is Lava Reef Zone.
Okay. Does that involve a scene with lava, by any chance?
You know what, I think it might do.
Who knows?
Oh no, internet!
No.
No! Well, it's died. But yeah, let's add it in post. Yes, that concludes that.
Sounds like Mario Kart.
We'll come on to that later.
Mm.
There's only one acceptable track from Mario Kart, and if it's anything but Rainbow Road 64, yeah, you deserve to suffer from
64
a
kilobyte
hydraulic
file.
press. It probably is 64 kilobyte, knowing cartridge-based systems. Yeah, that's a nice little soundtrack.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, you're not gonna like it. It's synthesized.
No, maybe not entirely.
But wow, there's a lot of tracks in that soundtrack. Very, very much so.
How many are there? Around 80? 100?
I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see if I can pick up a playlist. 48.
48.
That's
Still,
not bad.
that's impressive.
And they're all about 2 minutes 30. That's gonna get you some revision done.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. And it's true, I listened to that full revision.
So that's like 150 minutes, 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Still.
A solid amount of soundtrack.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our little pilot. Well, the truth is that we really, really don't want to revise for upcoming exams, and so we're looking for every single way possible to procrastinate.
Procrastinate.
And you're it. Procrastinate.
Yeah.
Bye.